All right, well, was waiting to see if Pete was gonna join us, but it seems like he's not been able to. So I'm going to actually continue on the stuff that we were working on last week, implementing some phasers. So you're gonna see me, unfortunately, going through and trying to understand what our options are for doing some of this stuff. Maybe Pete will join us at some point here. And that music is really still loud. There we go. Is that better? Worse? Yeah, I guess we'll leave it there. Alright. So I'm trying to figure out what some of our options are for animations and such, right? So I was looking through their animation or their example selections here, trying to get an idea of what we can do to get this rolling, right? So there's some different situations that we're trying to address. Let me bring up the code. What we were doing last here was getting the SignalR that takes it from the Twitch stream and trying to get that event published appropriately to get the emitter running. So initially, the emitter was we were trying to actually create a new emitter right within this action, right? So this here on this connection on, we're basically saying when we send the execution command through the SignalR, this is what we want to execute. Initially, we had this code here, all this stuff up here, and tried to do it down here in the connection on. But what we found is that we're actually able to do the stuff here to get it into the create, and then we have the emitter just stop. This way we can turn it on when we want it to run, and we can stop it when the timeout is hit, right? So right now we're just trying to do something very simple as far as getting that pushed into there. We can see that. I'll get this running so we can see the example of that. I'm also gonna check out my stuff here. Guess we got some updated that. We'll just keep this on the same. So, right. So this should. Let's get ourselves in here. So we got. This is where we're doing it at, right? So it's empty. Now if I do bang high Pete, now I get this in here for 2 seconds and then it stops and just lets it run out, which is nice because then that way it'll, be around. What would be interesting is to see if we can do something where it maybe goes in a pattern, like have the emitter move around while it's actually executing. What I'm not sure of is how we can make that possible, right? So that's the trick. Now I know that one of you can see in the commented out code that I have here, that there is this option here where you can do this emitter.startFollow, and so then that way it was able to follow this piece here that had the physics associated with it. What I want to try to do is see if I can create something else for this to follow along. And I'm not sure just yet what that would look like, right? I feel like I might even be able to make the emitter itself have a pattern to it, right? So maybe what I can do is try to get it to go in like a figure 8. Now, what I could do as part of this is add an update pipeline to this. So I'm just going to pull this together and make a little bit more room. I can add a function called update. Oh, I forgot. I never moved this out into its own file, which I should do to make it better for the JavaScript. But so in the update, we could do something. Can we do? No, it can't do a set X. I feel like there's got to be a way to change the position of this. Let's see. I'm going to take a look at our emitter. Whoa, all right. I think it's going to be in the manager piece, right? That's where all those settings are. Let's see if I can. Ooh, I could set angle. Maybe that's what we can do. Maybe we'll have it like kind of spray. So we'll do this at 100, and then maybe have this dot like set angle, and we'll make that a variable that we can manage, right? So we're gonna have to clean this up at some point and move it into its own file and actually have a scene class that we're using, because the way that we're doing it right now, the problem is that everything's all mushed together into one ball. So I'm going to want to move this out, but because I'm not as familiar with the phaser system just yet, I'm going to play with this way and see how that goes. Let's just get an angle. So we'll set that up, and on each update, so this is 60 frames a second roughly that this update procedure should be getting called, at least as far as I understand it. So I'm gonna try and see if we can just do see an angle. Oh, here we go. We got Pete joining in. Hey.
Hey. Oh,
how's it
sorry
going?
about that.
Yeah.
I got hung up, man.
Yeah, I wasn't able to reach you. I tried everything.
Yeah, you called me on Skype. Did you get I messaged you back, I think, on Slack when I.
Oh, so you know what? Slack? No, I did not have Slack open. I didn't get a message on. Oh, it's weird. My phone didn't give me a message either. Like it didn't, pop it up. Now, I mean, now I see it. Now that I went to it.
Yeah, I was just stuck in that Helios meeting. So.
Wow. Congrats. Yay for you.
Yeah. Actually, the meeting itself went fine. There was another problem that we were talking about.
So I'm going to try. I'm trying something here to make it move the emitter while it's running, right? So this is kind of what I was. Whoop! I lost you. Oh,
No, I
you're
had to
back.
click it off. I was stuck on my screen, and
Oh,
I can't see your screen.
you know what? That's right, because I did not. I wonder if I could actually. I should try seeing if I can share the actual stream to you, and then that way you can actually see it on the stream. I don't know which is better.
I usually open up Twitch anyway, so.
Well, I understand. Yeah, I understand that part, but all right. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to see if I can get this angle to move around. I don't know whether that's going to work or not.
Right, so it rotates the spray.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to do is make it rotate, but I don't know. Okay, that's fine. I wonder if there's a way to fix that. We'll have to find out. All right, so this here in the middle. All right, so now we're going to try. So the way I actually have it set up, you know what? Let me. I turned down the speed on it, so it made it harder to see it. All right, so,
Is the stream on? Or no?
yeah.
Okay, so we're on. We're live. Okay.
Yeah, I started without you. I just figured.
I was proceeding as such, like I was on the air, but I was like, I just had a moment. I was like, are we on? Because I was about to put it up on the Slack just for in case anybody was looking.
I gotcha. So we've got. So it's not doing it. Not exactly certain why. Oh, because I'm not using it? That might be the answer.
That seems like a good reason.
Yeah, I just did set angle. What? It didn't know that I meant to use the angle variable automatically? So we'll try this one more and try it again. I'm about to say one more time, but now that isn't what I expected to have happen. What the heck does the set angle do? This number, the rotation of this. Well, there's a set position too, right? So let me try. Let's try that. I mean,
Well, position seems like it would be where on the canvas. Is that not the way that that works?
no, it would. It would. I
Okay.
feel like the angle got to 0 and then just stayed at 0. Like it never changed. I'm doing a really small incremental change to it because of the fact that this runs at like 60 frames a second. And so if
Well,
I did
maybe
it,
since it rotates around in a circle, does it have to turn in on itself?
at some point we may need to actually stop it and like reset it. But I think technically degrees just continue to grow. And so it should be, I think it's going to be acceptable.
Okay.
Honestly, that's a guess.
That's why we try things.
Oh, maybe because it's going really slow. But why didn't it? You know what the weird part is that the angle that it's doing, it seemed the angle of like where it was throwing it. But why was it in a straight line? So I may have done that too low of a number. Maybe we'll just do 0.1.
You get 2 points in there, I think.
That's to make sure that it's really small.
It's particularly pointy.
Yeah, so that's still potentially even a little slow.
Do you see something happening on the screen though? All I see is a white screen.
No, over to the right here in the console.
I see the readout. Yes, I see the position.
That's all I'm
change.
looking at. But you can see the fact of how slow that degrees are changing.
Yeah, because each one of them would just be like a tick on the way around. So that would be a very slow kind of roll around.
And you can see it's like just barely moving, but it's also all of the things are shooting out in the exact same direction, right? So like one of the things that in here, see this angle is like this. So I'm wondering, well, what if we just make this 1, and then instead of the set angle being a single value, because it looks like it wants a single value.
Yeah, right? Like that would be big enough.
Yeah. Unless it's because this isn't what I'm thinking it is, right? Like maybe this isn't the right it's not the right object. See, that's why I was looking at this one here. It seems like it should. Oh, it extends it, so it has its own set angle. So I'm wondering, Yeah, you know what I mean? So I'm wondering if we do this where we do that, and then we do angle plus 180. So now it should rotate there. Hey, no JS. No, well, right now we're just doing, we're actually running it as in a .NET Core application, using Phaser IO to do some animations based on SignalR communication coming back to it. Oh, I didn't even open up the screen here, so it may not have. It's still not doing it right.
Yeah, that's not what I expected to happen. Still.
Did I not? Maybe I didn't reload it, or I didn't save it. It didn't reload it, so that makes a difference.
All right, it tilted a little. Still kind of doing the same thing.
I thought that, and I really thought that update procedure was getting executed like fast. So 1 degree, 180, like it should have taken, well, 2 seconds. 180. Yeah, it might not be fast enough. So let's do 5. But this doesn't seem to have done anything. So maybe what I need to do, maybe we do this. And we do a min. We do a max. Right? Because maybe it actually has to be passed in with that same type that you're using in the config portion.
For that setting piece. Okay.
Yeah. All right, let's try it again. Well, that's better.
Yeah, I did more what we wanted it to do because you could see it kind of spinning out.
Yeah, but I don't know if the change was related to this or to the fact that I changed this, right? If I changed too many things at once. So let's try this one again. Let's see. All right. Well, that seems like we're getting a better. We're still getting the spray coming out from it, right? So
right.
I think what that says to me is that this is how this angle call is made on there, right? Even though the documentation is showing it as being like overridden, so it's not real clear how it's supposed to work here, right? Because this is what I clicked on, and it brought me over to the transform. And that's why I was having difficulty understanding that. It was like, wait, it looks like it just takes a degrees, which in this case should have been something different. So that's part of where I was getting confused.
So then you would have to. So how do you get that moving around then? Because it didn't look like it was doing any kind of a rotation there.
Oh no, because I did it slow, right? Okay. And I wanted it to go slow because I wanted to see if this was actually doing the thing, or if this was actually what made it look like it was spraying it out, right? So if we did this down to like 200, we do this to just bump that up to 3. I'll reload that page, right? So now this number is flying. Right. We should probably actually stop that at 360 degrees and go back since it could.
Yeah, and like roll it over.
Yeah, so you can kind of see as it was fading out that it was actually had moved, like kind of come around the screen a little bit. So it kind of did it, but it wasn't quite as impressive as I was hoping it would be.
Yeah, the timing's a little off. I bet you it could be though.
I wonder if it needs to be
what if they came out faster? So they went out farther before it turned. So you get kind of a...
Yeah, but then it just looked like it was just going all over, right? You know what I mean? Like it wasn't... Yeah, it just looked like it was going...
Is there a setting for how many you emit in a period?
It's just speed. Oh, you know what? There might be. There might be another setting on the emitter. Where's that? Create.
Like the clone speed kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What I need to do is open this up in a new tab so we have that. There is a max particles.
You think that's at once though? Probably.
So see, this is, I think it's right. So it's how much at once, like how many you can have available, right? So it'll.
So that would constrain it, yeah. So if you set it to 3 or 4, then you wouldn't get that.
Yeah, let's see what happens if we try that. All right, so we'll.
Maybe set it to like 10.
All right, just want to make sure I did it right. And then. It was happening, but.
Yeah, it seemed like it popped the 10 out just as quick, though.
It did. I had them start a little bit smaller, too, instead of starting at a scale of 1, because it was so big. Oh, I just covered your face. So... Yeah, so that was okay. Let's try making this higher. Let's do like a 10. And then let me just do a thing that we'll just check it and reset it here. 16, let me just... That way we'll just reset that loop. So that way it doesn't ever, like, explode.
Yeah, spin out.
Yeah. Oh, maybe it stops right after the 10 go.
That's what it looks like. It just spits out 10 and then it's over.
Yeah, but that's not how it... Documentation read more like...
I don't know why it wouldn't reset though. Like why
it's just allowed to create. Okay.
So that's like a lifetime max, not a current, like a concurrent max. Okay.
What the heck is bounce do? Oh.
Huh?
I don't know what that... I wonder how that would actually work out, if that would actually do something cool.
Zone.
Oh, you can do a follow offset. Alright, those are...
Yeah, I don't see anything that... Time scale? Sets
time scale.
It's right on top of track. It just went off. There it is. So the time rate applied to active particles.
Oh, so we can actually slow it down, right? So
like the whole emitter, right? Like we're just...
Yeah, I think so. Right, so if we did like 0.5, and then we do just time scale, right? Is it camp like that? Yeah.
Fun with phaser.
Oh, interesting.
That was neat.
Yeah, that was different than I expected. Oh, I wonder if we put the added the bounce to it. Oh, no. right? Is that
U? It's a U. B-O-U-N-C.
right?
That's Bonce. There it is.
I know, it felt, I don't know, that was weird. It felt too long, right? And that's why I was just like, that doesn't, why did that happen? A lot of me just type it in here. I guess they're not going to bounce off of themselves. I was hoping that they would bounce off of each other.
Oh, yeah. I think it's at the outer bound. Whatever that is.
I gotcha.
Is it maybe if you made that X and Y? No. That's not it.
I was wondering if it would actually... The stream doesn't seem to be picking it up. Why is that? I have it set. Maybe I need to... I just wanted to see why it wasn't coming out on... It should be on the stream, but it's not.
Is that maybe an OBS problem?
I'm not sure. Maybe it's failing to load it properly. All things are possible. Maybe it wasn't working. Oh, there it is. Now it's on the screen.
I see it. Oh, look, there's both.
Yeah. So if I minimize that, then we do it again. Oh, you know what? There, actually, it was funny. Looking at it on the stream, it actually was easier to see that it was rotating.
It was.
Because you could kind of see it coming out in waves.
Yeah, the white background was making it harder to see.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, so one of the things that I actually wanted to do with this that I didn't do, I want to take this and I want to put it into an actual file, so at least it's easier to deal with. So I'm just going to create a new folder here. We'll just call it the phaser folder. So in that way I can add a new file. We'll just start it with just call this main. Did it work when you did it?
It did.
Ah, cool. I was just trying to make sure it was working on the stream, kind of a thing. So the only thing...
Yeah, it looks cool on the stream.
Nice. It's supposed to be view stream, right? And so then this here, I'm going to want to load... Isn't it source? Yeah, okay. That was weird. I had a brain fart there and I couldn't... because there's like link... there's different... Sometimes it's not source, so that's why I was...
Yes, I know. Like the style sheets are link, for example.
Yeah. Phaser main.js. Oh, you can't do it like that. There we go. So that should... Now at least... Oh, it's not, because I didn't put this in the front. Alright, so that's at least still working. Should be able to switch this. It's crazy how that, with it slower like that, like it actually is, you know, I don't know, it feels weird. It's almost like the 2 seconds feels longer.
Just because of the way it's coming off, you mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I can turn off the rotation here, or the logging of it. So what if we just do like 5 instead? If we try, I want to turn this down real low. So what if we just do like 1?
So it's gonna be real slow.
Yeah. That is way too slow. Oh, that's why it's lasting longer than 2 seconds. And I wasn't thinking about it
because we slowed down time. Yeah.
We slowed down time, and so it did stop in 2 seconds. But now this is just going to continue to run and run and run and run and run. That was funny. You could almost do this like do like 500. All right, so oh, but see, so it
didn't
only
go around all the way.
It didn't go around all the way because it was so short. I was thinking it would be like the whole thing exploding, which we could probably do if we ended up actually just not doing this, right? And then did just commented that out for right now. So I want to go here. Bring up that. So, oh, hi Pete. Yeah, so that got it all the way around. So now it's kind of just like one.
It's like a bloom.
Yeah.
So if you did that like a few times, it'd be like a firework.
Oh yeah, like you could kind of go pop, pop, pop.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the thing I was trying to figure out. Right, was that's to me feels like an animation script that we should be able to set up. Right, like that's
to do fireworks.
Yeah.
Probably.
And that's what I was trying to figure out how to do it. Right, they weren't real clear. And I thought it would have been I don't. What is? So I'm not seeing anything for it. So I saw this example, right, and they use this, right. So this is an example file, right, and so this is an animation, right. So it says frames, and it's like now you're defining the frames. And so what I was trying to get with that, so additionally so this is the image that it's using as part of the file. I don't know.
Okay.
What is TPS? TPS. It's like Office Space.
TPS report.
Yeah. The TPS report. Maybe that's for something different because like. So this was kind of what I thought would do what we're looking for.
So that's just a map to that animation, right?
I think so. And it's actually saying which frames to use, right? And I think it's based on... It's odd that that's 2. It might have been because they had different size frames. No, they're all.
It is weird that it's 2.
Right? Yeah, and so, and when this was even being used, it wasn't like, there's also like this here, this multi-atlas, which I think is kind of what they were calling it. There was also another thing called Atlas. So I'm not quite certain what's going on there. I'm kind of like, kind of unsure. I wonder if we look at game objects, I wonder if they have any examples here. Oh, they have a thing called particle emitters.
There's an angle emitter. Collide emitter. Yeah, see if you did like if you did like 3 of them in a row and then made them go away, it'd be kind of a firework. Different kind of firework.
Yeah, this is using a flare asset. They use, okay, so lifespan is big.
Right, so they go out farther and slower.
Yeah, and look at the speed. It actually has a
like a min-max.
Yeah, so I think that
probably gives it a more organic kind of a effect.
Right, because I don't know what quantity 2 is, but that's what gives it the. I think how you can get some of them falling shorter and going longer is that you actually are giving them a different level of acceleration, so you get
right because it's randomized a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's the key. I don't know what this quantity is doing. That does look pretty neat. So the question is, how do we time it like that, right? So even if we did what we have, let's I'm gonna turn this time scale up.
So if you click the edit button in that sample, would that let you do it like right there, like a fiddle?
It has something like that, right? So you can do it if you do this edit. It actually has a labs.phaser.io that you can use, right? Okay. So if you
change that quantity to like 4, we might see something happen.
Oh, I hit save.
It gets fatter.
Yeah, what if we do this to 1? What if it's actually like different emitters?
Right, maybe it is. Maybe it's like a stacking. It is.
Yeah.
So what happens if you do like 10? How does it spread them out? Are they all starting from one point?
I think they all start from the same point, but they have different speeds, right? Because there's a range for the speed. So you do 20, then that's happening because of the add, right, on the sprites. So they're all getting blended in. That's why you get that real heavy spot at the beginning.
Right, so that looks almost like water more than sparks. Because it looks like it's dense.
Yeah, it does. It's actually kind of a neat effect. I wonder if you get that though, even if you did it with. What if you do this and instead of that scale starting small, let's try doing it at 9. Keep hitting Control S.
Whoa.
So you get the same thickness.
Different.
It is.
Yeah, but it behaves different. It looks more like plasma.
Yeah. It almost really looks like it's going, like it's shooting through the air, right? Like it's coming down.
Like a comet kind of thing?
Yeah, like a comet, exactly. Or a meteor or something.
Huh.
Yeah, so here's what I was gonna try here. This is gonna be weird, right? So we do.
I'd be better off with a different graphic than my face for this stuff.
Well, yeah. We could even, but what we could do is, I wonder if Let me try seeing if I can change that image to. I think I was at work. I was looking for the wrong folder. Nope, I don't care about that. Alright, so let's open this up. I think I might be able to do basically turn your head into a like the right kind of image for it, right? So that we would get that the burst kind of look to it.
I'll give it that little flare.
Yeah, I think we have to do it with a gradient. Let's do radial. And then I gotta set. So I think if we do it. Didn't seem to do anything, did it? If I do color mode, and then if I change this one to transparent, right? I think there we go. Right, so now I can do that. I think. Should be able to do it as a. No.
Can't do it as like an overlay?
That's what I was trying to. Oh, jeez. Oh, that didn't quite do what I was expecting. It just made it darker.
Yeah, that's weird.
I thought there was like a method to trim it. Let's try that. No. I wonder if I can see it change. Oh, you can. Cool. Yeah. I feel like I've done it before, and I can't think of what it was that I did. Is it screen? Maybe this needed to be white when I did it.
Oh, maybe that's what it is instead of the black.
I don't know. I don't know. I felt like I feel like I've done it before, and I can't remember.
Oh, like the dot had more like a halo than an interior shine. So maybe the effect is wrong. I'm gonna close the door. Look at that.
Yeah, I didn't expect that to happen.
I'll be right back.
All right. Maybe I'll even. Let's see if I have a quick help on here. Let's see if I do paint.net to fade
I'm back.
All right. Oh. So gradient will only affect the alpha channel of the active layer. The gradient will fade from alpha value to primary color, inverse of the alpha value of the secondary color. Hence, it is entirely possible to transition between two states of partial transparency.
Okay.
So
will that do it?
Maybe that's what I was doing wrong. I think you do that on the actual image. Right, so
on the layer that it's on.
Yeah, so I switch that to transparency mode, and then nope. Let's try. That didn't seem to do anything.
Yeah.
Let's see what that says again. Mm-hmm. Image on the left shows gradients rendered in different shapes using color mode in black and white. Images on the right show the effect of drawing the same shape gradient transparency mode on the following image. Which that's pretty neat. Is it that I'm using the wrong color? Is it because I already have the background one as alpha? Oh, it is. Ooh. There we go.
There you go. That looks a little intense, but that looked like it.
Yeah, so it's more. Let me try. Just do a save as. We'll save it as that. All right, and then I want to do a file save as. Nope, I want this to be Pinge. I wonder. Yeah, try something. I want to save it with a different name so that we don't have to deal with the caching issue. Because otherwise it'll cache the image.
Okay.
So I want to save it as a different one. This way I can just add it in here. All right, let's do dash fade, dash fade, dash fade. All right. So let's see. Reload this one.
Yeah, it
kind of
a little
bit better. Yeah. You know what it is that the image itself is kind of like because it actually ends up looking like there's rounded corners on a box.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had to pull it out far enough so you could get your face in there big enough, and right. That was a part that was tough. So that's why I was like, I'm not sure. There might be some alternative ways of dealing with it, where we can make this a little bit less the gradient. Oh, you know what we could do? Let me. Let's undo the gradient. Let me duplicate that. Right, and then this one will redo the gradient. Oh. we're not seeing it because of that. So
what are you trying to get to here?
So I'm trying to make it so that the your face is a little bit bolder.
Okay.
But I keep having to undo everything because I was messing it up multiple times in a row. So I'm going to do that. I'll remove this. Maybe I could do this. Maybe do a little bit bigger. And then do... Because now what I'm thinking about doing, the idea is that I can do something more like this.
Right.
And I can cut that out, right? So.
So it'd be more like a dot.
Yeah. Right. So then rip that. Now what I need to do is what I'm thinking I need to do is on this one I need to do one more gradient on it. That might not be quite right either. I don't know. Let's see what happens if I do that one. Flatten that one. All right, and then let's do a hard reset on this one. It's not as bad as I was initially thinking it was going to come out. But if we do, let me try reloading the screen here. Try doing it again, Pete.
Okay.
I want to see if it comes up on the stream. Yeah, there it goes. Okay. And it's kind of neat because it doesn't really look like your face at that point then, but it...
Yeah. You see it when it comes out, like actually you see it farther out.
Yeah, ooh, I wonder if I can make it bigger now and see if it works better. Let me try one more thing though. I want to do do that, and then I want to do an emitter dot start. I want to make that 500. Then in here, and then emitter dot stop, and then do that for another 1 second. Right?
Okay.
That is ugly. That's why I feel like there's got to be a better way of doing this piece.
Yeah, it looks great, right? Well nested.
Yeah.
That's how you know you did it right. It looks like an arrow.
Oh, is that how you know?
Mm-hmm. It's a programmer thing.
Okay. All right. Let's give that a try.
Whoa.
That was kind of neat. So it kind of did it.
Yeah, it was like
I feel like I want to make it just a little bit faster then, right? So the time scale, instead of being that, like maybe we do like 0.7. So we'll do 70% of normal. And then okay. So I'm almost wondering if we do it So maybe set this back to normal timescale for a second.
Okay.
And then change this to 800.
Okay.
Do that. And then I want to speed this up. So we're going to do that at 9. Let's just do 10. So the reason I want to do that faster is because it's going to be going less. I want to make it sure it gets all the way around.
Okay.
So that's why I want to speed
let's
that.
do the halfway thing. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Huh. That's pretty cool, man. I like it.
I wonder if we did. What if we ended up doing without? Oh, you know what? I'm actually not even setting the angle on that because we have it set. It's doing the whole thing. That's actually what it's doing. So it's doing it on its own. Yeah. So maybe we do it like a little bit slower. And this doesn't even matter because that wasn't doing anything. Well, what if I added it back in?
Yeah, right. What's that end up looking like?
Yeah. Actually, and this should probably start at 180. Huh. There's something about it that I'm just like, it feels like it's missing, and I don't know what it is. Maybe it'd be better to go back to the slower. Maybe it was just because I think it was maybe cooler with the slower time scale. And then
those were longer.
Yeah, maybe I need to make this like 600. And then make that. Nah, I think I'm gonna leave that. Let's try that. Almost feel like I should make this so that it reloads and just does it. It's not too bad. I don't know. It's a thing.
Yeah.
Maybe do a little bit faster. I feel like I think I like the overall speed of that one. What if we made this 400?
It didn't seem like it was. They were popping out all the way around as much, though. It didn't seem like an even spread that last run.
No.
I don't know. We've looked at a lot of them at this point. No, I guess
that last one definitely wasn't, right? So it seemed. Well, and we can switch that back, right? So that would be if we just got rid of this angle piece.
Is that what it was that was messing that up?
Yeah. So this here, because we were only doing it in like a wedge, and then that was spinning, right? So if it didn't spin all the way, then you would end up with that.
That looked pretty good.
Yeah, I think what would be interesting is, like, let me reload the overlay there. And then I'm going to change to a different screen. All right, so let's do it now. Let's see what it looks like on the stream itself.
It looks good.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
It's interesting. It seemed faster than... Try.
It did seem faster. Which is weird.
Yeah. Let's try... That's kind of neat, though. I think that's actually pretty good.
It is pretty good.
I would like to find a way to not do this to do it,
though. Yeah. That's weird.
It is. That's not knowing the library to do it, you know? Mm-hmm. Man, that's a bummer.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. I almost want to see if the so this was kind of a neat example, actually. Let me see. I didn't realize that this was like its own set of things here, so we might be able to do. Let's see what they're doing with. Oh, now that is interesting. Are those actually all emitters? So look at this, right? So the source is the trunk, and so it's the emit zone. So this here, it created a rectangle.
So that's the rectangle, is that trunk variable.
Mm-hmm. And then it's used here, and it's saying how many emit spots, I guess.
And then what does that render like? What's it look like up in the code? Like in the screen?
Yeah, it wasn't letting me scroll.
So it's that box.
Yeah, it's this box here. So watch one on the reload, though.
Huh.
That's not something I was thinking that you would be able to do with the emitter. So this would actually allow us to create a pattern and maybe give it an edge. Could we do what are our options with that, right? So that was the geometry. And so I'm wondering if we can actually do we can do a curve. This is actually a game object. This isn't that what they're actually using, right? Because they're using geometry. Graphics. No, those are for that.
Oh.
All right, so we can do a circle. Interesting. So let me just do this and check this in.
Draw a circle like that.
First working, and then
that would create the bounding. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So then, exactly. Yeah, so then here. Actually, how were they doing it? They were doing it in the create, I think. Or yeah, so it's all part of the create.
Yeah, so it's just sitting up there at the top, just getting newed up.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. I only got a few more minutes here because I do got to cut it hard at 5:30. I was kind of hoping to stop a little early because they're doing that sleep care thing. You know, like the sleep care alum dinner thing. Tonight. So I was gonna go over there, see that real quick, and then go out to eat with Christine.
Huh.
So let's do the circle. This is phaser.g. And then I want to do. We'll just do a circle. I guess that's what I was gonna do. I don't even know. Did they give it an actual position?
It did. It's an X and Y and a radius. It was a position of the center and a radius.
Right. Yeah. So we can just do that, and then we'll do a radius of 100.
Yeah, I don't know what is that. Is it pixels? I don't even know what it is.
I don't know.
Measure is.
And then I don't. You know what? That's a good question. I'm not totally certain, right? So it's an emit zone. Emit zone. Now I'm curious about what these types are, right? Because there's a type, and that's an edge.
Yeah, right.
And then source will be circle. The source. And then quantity. They did 48, so we'll stick with that for right now. What did I do?
Quantity, not quantity.
I couldn't tell what was wrong with it. That was weird.
You typed it like I say it. Quantity.
Well, and but I couldn't see it. I was like, wait, I can't tell what it's doing. All right, so we've done that. Let's save that. I do think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to just do one right here. So I don't have to keep typing it in. Oh, it's not a function. It's not a function. Oh, because it's not. It's a class. Oh, boy. So I needed to new it up. Let's do. It is a constructor.
Where's the, yeah.
It's a constructor.
Yeah.
It's a constructor.
It's caps. It's a cap. You have a lowercase.
Oh, shoot. I do have a lowercase. That's why it was upset. Good call. I was like,
it was a tough one.
You know what? I got to get into JavaScript mode. And remember that all classes should be.
Whoa. Whoa.
Oh, so that was kind of neat.
It wrote the circle.
It did it all on its own. And it still bursted because we actually have, you know why? It's because we actually have in the in here we still have that speed. Like if we
so it's throwing them out still.
Yeah, so I think if we took the speed off, it would actually just do it like, yeah. Oh, that's kind of slick.
How's about that?
And I bet you if I change this so that instead of this being 48, because that was a lot, and we change that to like 25, maybe make this 150. Now we can actually.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. I like it. I like the fact that we could do it like that, or we could put the speed back in here and let it do that. Oh, we could even. I wonder if we just left the angle off of it. I guess it would just do the whole thing as it's going.
Oh, they just fly off. It puts them in all different places along the edge, and then they fly off in the direction.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
That's so awesome. Oh, man, that makes it so it's like you feel like you could actually do this at like do this at a full second. Mm-hmm. Do this at a full second. Give this maybe a 600. Actually, if I just did this at like 4 seconds.
You could get like a little plane to come out and skywrite.
Yeah, right?
Look at that! That is what you want when you say hi, Pete.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I almost want to I don't even think we need to do these other things here, right? We could just do one long one. Right? Because if we
you don't need that loop deal. Because that's really what that is sort of a...
Yeah. I'm going to comment that. right? So if I just comment that out, so it's just four. Actually, we'll just do this a full 5 seconds because it's almost not as bad when it's 5 seconds here. That I think is cool. I think that's pretty cool. All right, so let me.
If you let them live longer and bounce too, I bet you they fly around.
Oh yeah, right.
Because there was a lifetime, isn't it?
Right. So then, if I do lifetime, I don't know what that measurement is though.
I don't know either.
Well,
let's assume it in there.
Let's assume it's seconds. I'm gonna put 5.
And then the bounce.
I got the bounce already set.
Yeah, you do. Right. Sorry.
Where was it? Yeah. So this was time scale, and then there was, lifespan. Now let's see if it says. That's milliseconds. So that would have been really bad. So we want lifespan, and we can say, 5,000. That. What if we do this as like? Let's just try doing 20. A little bit smaller. I think that sounds good. I think I'm going to do this at 5. And then I want to comment this out. Yeah, see now it's actually in a JS file. The comments work properly.
Yeah, right. It's not trying to do the HTML comment.
Yeah. Oh, I don't see them bouncing though.
They're not, because they're starting on the outside.
No. I don't. I think it's because we don't have a bounce zone for it. Like we would have to give it something that tells it where that is, right? So, like this. What if that? I wonder if that's available. What if we just do emitter dot set collide world bounds true. Oh, you know what we should actually do? Well, let's try this first. Let's see if this does. Let's see if that does the trick. It actually may throw an error when we try to do it, because it may not exist. Yeah, so it doesn't exist. But what would be kind of neat to do is instead of just this, what if we do the gravity?
So it'll kind of fall.
Yeah. Oh, maybe I didn't do the gravity right.
Yeah, I guess it didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't look quite right, right? So the gravity. How do I get to it?
There it is. Oh, yeah. Gravity X and Y.
That makes sense. So I want gravity X. Nope, gravity Y. Let's do that. Oh, yeah, they're kind of working. They are.
Yeah, I guess it's sort of coming down.
Because I didn't put it fast enough, right? Oh, and the time is different. Oh, we should try setting that times. What if we set this time scale back to a 1? I wonder if that might make it. It might make that gravity look better. Right? So now if I let's set this to, I think 350. It's a little bit faster. And then what if I want to redo the screen? Oh, watching the stream. Did you see it?
I did. That's awesome. Then they all fall down.
Yeah. You know what's interesting is it doesn't have that load problem that we have when I do it in the browser.
No, it just does it. That's weird.
That is so cool. That is so cool. I love it. I almost wonder if we could do a pattern that's a spiral. I feel like we'd have to do. I don't know if we can pull that off or not, but
you just have to nudge the Y, or one of them really, depending on which way. If I pictured it moving down, but I guess you could move across too, just a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, because watch when I reload it. Right, look how much slower that is.
Yeah, that's like way slower running through the browser than it is on the stream.
I think I should even maybe make this a little bit lower because it almost felt like it was falling too fast. Yeah, there we go. That gets you like up off the screen and stuff.
That's good.
Well, that's now what we've got for. So you should be able to type it in and have it do it. I think.
Yeah.
All right. So I got them both set to 5. Yeah. You putting it in?
I am.
Yeah.
I did.
I think that's better. I'm excited about it. I like it.
That's great. They're like fireflies almost.
Yeah. Yeah. That is so cool. All right. Well, now we've got some of that stuff figured out. I can actually get rid of all this. That was doing nothing for us.
And now we got to get our little animations climbing across and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the other part of this that I want to try to figure out is like, you know, how do we create those scapes of like where we want stuff to move around the screen, right? And that's kind of what I'd like to be able to see. Is it would be neat to make that. It'd almost be neat to have a source that we can tell it like to move like this way and then up and then across. You know what I mean? And like actually do stuff that's more patterns than just pure geometric shapes. I'm not sure that that's possible with this. Now the emit zone is interesting, right? Because I don't know enough about what the options are there. Let's see if they have, the emit.
Because that was the edge or whatever.
Yeah.
Which it looks like, I guess it runs the edge, but probably could do it like from the middle or something. Who knows?
Let's see what emit zone. Oh, there it is. I was just about to search for it. An edge zone places particles on its edge. Its source can be a curve. Oh, it's a get points method. Ooh. So we could do programmatically create a get points thing that will actually control that. So we could do that.
And then the random zone throws it up anywhere in the zone, which is kind of neat. That would kind of, instead of having to run around, it would pop, 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 pop.
Oh, yeah. Let's try that one real quick.
The random?
Yeah. And this was just random?
It said random zone, so they're calling it, let's see.
Yeah.
No.
Nope. Oh, wait. That's a different error. It's because I got rid of the update method, but I still had it in the life cycle. Oh yeah.
Oh, it is. Yeah, they're just popping out. That's kind of its own coolness.
I know. It's. I like.
Let's roll that tape again.
Wait a minute. I think try doing it again. And I want to do it like right after you. Didn't seem. I was wondering if it would do it twice or if it just did it once.
I feel like it did it.
Oh.
No?
I'm not sure. I'm watching the stream because I just like reset it. That's pretty crazy. I like it. Now I'm gonna have to. I think we're gonna save it like that. I'm gonna check that in. That way, when we do our next stream, it'll have that on there.
Yeah, which I guess tomorrow morning.
Yes, tomorrow morning. For those that want to continue the adventure of Scratch
Yeah, and asteroids.
and
Finish
Asteroids.
that up. Probably finish it up. I think we could probably finish it up, at least as far as we're going to take it.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny as I was thinking about it. Like now that we've done this, I feel like we need to figure out how to do them in an hour. Like how much we can actually get done in an hour, so that we can say, here's an hour of workshop or an hour of code that we could do. That gets you from something without anything to something. You know?
Right. Well, we'd have to practice those, but yeah.
Right. Well, that's kind of what I was thinking. We could even use those times for. It's like, okay, well, let's try to do this. Like, oh, nope, we don't know what that's going to look like. You know,
Yeah.
something to.
Well, yeah,
And
we have
leave
the
them with something
project
to do.
too. Like working out the project, like that asteroids project we're working on. We probably even could take that and then like now that we've done it, make something like that of it. But I don't think we want to broadcast it again. But
Yeah.
no, I get what you're talking about. So we'll see. Yeah.
Yeah. That was. That's so crazy.
Man.
All right. Well, I think
All right,
that's a spot to end it at.
Yep. Yeah, you
All
got
right.
a hard stop. So
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
yep.
And
See you tomorrow morning.
have a great night.
So long.